our next game. What we just saw right there in the 1 versus 1. The campfires were used. He had like what 30 HP, like could take only a couple ticks of the zone before he winds up dropping. You can't waterfall down at that point because of how tight the zone is. Literally waterfalling down, plus the fact that that player he would expect to spray up at you
100%.
Would wind up either dropping you down to your death or you'd take too much storm damage. So the hand's kind of forced. I've got to drop in, hope to redeploy, have them whip the shot, and then hit my 1 pump after. But in the end, it's just not possible to work on out Boyer and Pr0vokd, the first players to watch in this game. What a dramatic ending to that last one, Lupo.
Absolutely insane. I almost expected at that point, you go for the redeploy and you're going to leave yourself exposed. In a situation like that, maybe just going full send and waiting till the very last moment to try and hit that pump shot, because the closer you are, the spread is tighter on your opponent's. You know, if you're going for a headshot, you look for every chance you can to focus as much damage as possible. Waiting for that last second hit might have been the play, and if you miss it, then you're going to hit the ground, take the fall damage, and get eliminated anyway. It's kind of a toss-up.
Yep.
You
can make an argument on either side, sort of thing.
Exactly.
But Boyer now just continuing to peek on out through these edits. They are pre-set up in this zone. 2 Rift-to-Goes, Slurp Juice, Heavy Sniper.
Oh my gosh.
Beams, Mishmosh. And you got to think, they want to secure this drop that's about to fall on in. Now I'm surprised they're not building any pyramids, especially when they have, you know, just 1 layer of floor below them. They haven't done it yet. Here's a look at
Magin, Pr0vokd, Antlantis, and Fnatic here. Opening the wall. Finishing that player. The attempt here, the reason for the finish, Jack, they're not going to get a point for that, but if they're close enough like they are, you get all the mats, you get all the shield.
Yep.
You basically claim the entire pile of loot as your own, since whoever got the knockdown, they don't know necessarily at that point. They're not going to get it. The top center of your screen, 2 of the excellent players from Solary, Hunter and Kinstar. We've seen them in plenty of competitions in the past, and no surprise, here they are today qualifying for today's attempt to make it to New York City.
Yep, the French duo. Scary when they can kick it into gear. A beautifully placed Stink starts tagging both players. And what also that gives Kinstar is not only the damage, but the peace of mind of knowing exactly where those 2 are. It's almost like it's almost like you get like an outline of where they are at all times, because you see their movements. You can tell, oh, they drop down a layer. Oh, you know, now that they're safe, we know they're not in this box. Chewed Up gets beamed right there. They're going to hit the launch pad. And what I like about that from Kinstar and Hunter is there's no hesitation. They don't try to continue beaming that box. They know that there's no way that player can be rezzed with the zone at their back, and now the elimination comes on in because the player's already taking 5+ tick damage of the storm, plus the damage that you get when you're knocked out on the ground. They're going to drop real quick.
Still see a handful of players and ballers rolling around in here. Somebody should close Discord.
As Boyer
landing just on the edge of the storm. Even though you may take the 10 damage to the storm, he's going to go ahead and pop one of the 2, by the way, slurps that he's sitting on. And it's the ceiling, and Scotty gets caught off guard in the elimination here. Another free 50 for the Siphon. That slurp is going to top him off here in a second. Grabs one of the 2 Rift-to-Goes, and Boyer and Pr0vokd still in this, the top-down view on the entire map.
And this is a brilliant time to pop this Rift-to-Go, because look at how many players are remaining in this game. They're nearly at that top 15 for the placement points. You wind up taking that Rift-to-Go, your odds of being shot down and eliminated while this is happening on the low ground is much, much lower. So it's the lesser of 2 evils. You go up top, you float around, hope that really no one gives you the time of day to look up top, and instead everyone else just has absolute insanity break loose down low.
It's funny that Pr0vokd and Boyer have landed now. Looks like they're not the top layer. Pr0vokd, Magin have that top down on everyone.
Yep.
Ultimate high ground, but they're in a safe enough spot that they can just rotate in ahead of everybody. They don't have to worry too much.
Top 15.
Inkblad, Mirwana with 3 eliminations between the 2 of them. Top 15, like you said, we have placement points coming out. The rocket from above doesn't take damage to it. Still at 150, but it was very, very close, Jack.
Yep.
boxing is going to happen here. 105 builds. They're doing great on materials. Incline is honestly in one of the better spots from anybody we can see right now. The bottom section of your screen is very, very thick.
There's still so many players left in this one. Magin right now building on up, trying to match these players that are nearby. A nice 119 tag. This inventory stacked on up. Only 3 shotgun shells left. Might have to call for Pr0vokd to drop some on the ground if possible. RPG now reloaded, and here comes the spray up top. They'll make sure they have cover from the low ground. And when you start to spray up top, it forces the players who are floating to try to glide on down quick. That's Boyer and Kripa, who use their second of the rifts. RPGs should begin to rain down low, but you know, at the same time, you think Magin probably knows, hey, I've only got 3 of these left. I want to make sure if I'm going to shoot these, I've got a high chance of getting a limb. Right now, with vision of nobody, doesn't feel the need to shoot them quite yet.
It feels safe enough at this point. They're not really getting challenged on the high ground, so you're not seeing pyramids come out, but an opportunity to save some builds. The branch they're on is...
It's a little bit high up, and it's not held up by much.
I was going to say, Pr0vokd notices that as well, starts to drop in. Marwana ticking out there, outside. Boyer gets eliminated. That duo was out. Still a pair from E11. Stompy and his teammate are still in there. Lazy still alive. 8 players, 6 duos total, which means there's only 2 sets of 2. Magin and Pr0vokd have the high ground on everybody, Jack. And the other duo, low ground warriors, down there at the bottom. Every player that's in the middle, all 4 of them, they're all solos. And Incline pays the price, gets caught off guard there. 6 players left, Jack.
It's the 2 duos just like sandwiching everyone and eliminating them right now. But now, Atlantis and Fnatic wind up dropping on in. Pr0vokd and Magin go for it. The RPG hits both. Hawkers by themselves, and there's just no way. Magin, 3 limbs in the final moment right there. It escalated so quickly, I wasn't even ready for it, Lupo. And that's because they had the high ground, and instead of kind of waiting and trying to force their way through the build, they dropped down into the zone in front of the build, catching their opponent basically completely off guard because they were realizing they were slowly just building ceilings and not building a complete box around them. In the end, it winds up spelling disaster for the E11 duo on the low ground, and Magin, known as one of the better players in Europe, comes out on top.